Girlfriend. Like to me, I love all of the album really besides Burn This Disco Out. Like I don't really like that song too much.
Not only Dirty Diana catching strays, but Burn This Disco Out. Ooh wee! I wasn't prepared for this. Oh man.
That segment. Now I want to get into some unpopular opinions, Randall.
That's right. Oh man. Because the last one was a doozy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last time we did unpopular opinions was with our good friends at the Black Jackson Estate. Shout out to them. They just released a really fun episode, 2-part episode on Michael Jackson's hair story for Black History Month. They go into all of it. The afro,
Ooh.
Jerry curls, the wigs, the extensions, all of it.
Okay.
It's a good episode.
I got to listen to that. Yeah.
So we did do unpopular opinions with them just about like in the Invincible album. But today I'm going to be surprising you, Randall, with some unpopular opinions. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm as ready as I can be. Hope you don't read no mess.
These are all subscriber, viewer submitted, listener submitted, I should say. So I'm going to run through these. First one, off the jump, very controversial. Billie Jean was so overrated.
No. No. Just because when you think about, okay, things like, I think they mixed the song 91 times and they got it right on the second one after all. Billie Jean, launching the myth and the legend of the moonwalk at Motown 25. Billie Jean really reconfiguring Michael into a pop figure from his off the wall days. You think it's overrated because you hear it all the time, but you're not thinking about the people that lived it back then. I wonder how old this person is.
That's a good point. Yes, because even me, I'll say this. I didn't know the impact of Motown 25. Like, I was like, what's the big deal? Like, and my dad was like, what's the big deal? Because, people watched this transformation of Michael from this child star to a solo artist doing his thing. But then he became a mega star. And like to see that in real time, like that is the impact of Billie Jean. And that's the song that everybody comes to see when they come to see the shows, when they went to see the concerts. Like that's the moment.
Exactly.
Even if I go to a tribute show and that's not even Michael, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for Billie Jean.
That's the impact of Billie Jean. That right there.
Exactly. Okay. Let's get into this one. History Tour is not as enjoyable because of all the lip syncing.
That's an unpopular opinion.
I know. I'm like, I think everybody feels that way.
Yeah, I think that is a common belief amongst the fandom. Sad to say, as it is. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I think we'll both agree with that. Now, this I think is controversial. Between Destiny and Triumph, I think Destiny is the better album.
Okay. No, they didn't provide any more clarity.
None.
No, Triumph to me was the best constellation of and collaboration amongst the brothers when you think about, songwriting and vocals and performances, the live tour, like you just talked about with that vinyl and how they came together for that. Like, I think Triumph was everybody at the top of their game manifested into an album like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And as much as I love the Destiny album, that's more of one that I listen to on my downtime at home. Like, I mean, there are some definitely bangers and hits there, but like Triumph is one that's just like a no skip. Even like the B-sides or songs that are not singles at all. Like all the songs are so good, and you really get that Jackson sound. And it's interesting because I say that even though they have done all that Jackson 5 music and all of that, this just to me really sounds like what they wanted to sound like because of like that creative freedom and them finally getting into the pocket, I feel like, of where they could express their creativity, and like everybody was receptive to that album.
Couldn't say it any better.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Invincible is overrated within the fan community.
Invincible is overrated within the fan community. If I'm understanding this right, I think this person is saying that because the public didn't take to Invincible the way that they took to Dangerous, Bad, Thriller, maybe even a little bit of History, that we as fans might inflate the value that Invincible holds, and kind of look at it like this is a masterpiece that nobody appreciated.
Overcompensating a little.
Yeah. So this person said Invincible is overrated within the fandom. I don't know. That's a push. Because I understand, right? Like I just explained it. But I'm also the first person to say, and I've had this conversation. We actually talked about this with the Black Jackson Estate. Like if you could cut that album in half almost and have certain songs on it and leave certain songs off, then that probably would be the body of work that you would want the public en masse to love it for. But because of the decisions that were made, it's not.
Right. And I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of agree with this opinion because I do feel like, we overcompensate to try to like be like, oh yeah, like this is good. Like it wasn't received well by the public, but I'm going to show you, we're going to talk this to death about how great these songs are. And it's hard because it does deserve its just due. Like it is a great album. It's a Michael Jackson album. And I think we're both of the school of thought that like most of the Michael Jackson work is amazing. It's great. It's a lot of work was put into it. And get access to members-only exclusive content at patreon.com/MJFANGIRL. For only $4.99 a month, you get access to the entire library. And shout out to our platinum sponsor, Marlis. You are the best. Reflective of what he was feeling at the time. But I do think that there are a lot of comments online. People will be like, oh, such and such was the best song out of his discography, or like Speechless is the best ballad he's ever done. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I would go that far. Or even when people say it's their favorite Michael Jackson album, I'm like, for real though?
What's this on my head?
Cap.
There you go.
It took me a while. I was like, Cap, that's Cap.
Yeah. I think too, those of us that believe that are looking at Michael in comparison to somebody like Prince, who had a lot of unreleased stuff, because unfortunately Invincible was Michael's last proper album. And so, we didn't get another body of work after that. So I think those fans that might overinflate it or overcompensate, they just want, they just yearn for more. And so I think because of that, they look at Invincible more fondly and kind of, smooth its edges out as they, reabsorb it and start to appreciate more of it than they used to probably.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the fact that it was like his last album that he completely had control over and released, and it does make you feel kind of like, you have this longing for more, like you said, or to get more out of it than maybe we would have if there had been subsequent albums or subsequent projects that he had worked on. And, with the murkiness of the posthumous projects, like not being 100% sure that he would have wanted this to be released, or whether it was him or not, like that just, it makes you cling on to like the stuff that that he put work and his heart into a little bit tighter.
But I did love Escape though. Like I still listen to that. I bang that all the time. So shout out. Yes.
Shout out to Escape. I like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the next, because we could talk about this forever. And if you want to hear us talk about the Invincible album, listen to that episode we did with the Black Jackson Estate.
That's right.
We got to collaborate with them again another time because
Yes.
that was so fun.
That was fun. Yeah, I would do that all the time. Yo, if y'all see this, invite me back on the show. I want to talk to y'all again.
I know, right? Me too, please.
Yes.
Okay, so next unpopular opinion. Michael Jackson should have done more Given to Me and Dirty Diana type songs.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I think I always say this, I bring this up a lot. Michael had like themes and pockets across his albums that he would play, starting with the Thriller album. Like Beat It turns into Dirty Diana, turns into Given to Me, turns into DS, turns into
Maybe Morphine or something.
Morphine. There you go. Turns into let's say I was gonna say 2000 watts, but just to troll you. But I was really thinking of Another Day with Lenny Kravitz.
Okay.
So like could he have had more of them? Yeah, I wouldn't have been mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And it's funny because contrary to popular belief, like I don't love Beat It, yes, but I do appreciate Beat It is my least favorite song, okay? Out of all the popular songs it is, but I appreciate.
That's your unpopular opinion.
That's my unpopular opinion. I should have submitted one. Beat It is the worst song ever. No, I'm just kidding. But I appreciate like the value that it brought to Thriller and that it brought to Michael's career and like the whole crossover factor. And I actually love the evolution because I feel like Give In to Me is one of my favorite songs on the Dangerous album. Just that storytelling and like the emotions that he was able to convey in his voice made me feel very close to the subject matter of the song and made me feel like, okay, like I just felt like those emotions right along with him. Whereas Beat It, I feel like is more of a, I don't connect with it as well. So, and I don't really connect to Dirty Diana either. I want more of the Give In to Me types. Okay,
Wow. I mean, like, Dirty Diana is undeniable, though. Like, I understand Beat It, but Dirty Diana, come on, G. That's a banger. And that's like not even one of my favorite tracks on Bad. Like, it's Bad, Another Part of Me, Leave Me Alone, Speed Demon. Yeah, it is. Dirty Diana is. But like, that's a banger. It was a number one. What are we talking about?
I know. Maybe I would have had to I was like, 3 or 4 months old probably when the single came out. So maybe I didn't receive it the way I should have. Cap. Okay. I will just leave this unpopular opinion right where it's at. Okay, I don't agree with this already, but She's Out of My Life keeps Off the Wall from being a perfect 10 out of 10 album. Why is there a random ballad in the middle of a disco album? It's a skip every time.
This person, so I understand this unpopular opinion to mean that this person likes Girlfriend and It's the Falling in Love more than She's Out of My Life. And I can't get jiggy with that. I cannot. So,
I know. We need a buzzer sound or something. Maybe next time. Yeah, I don't really agree with this either because although I do love It's the Falling in Love and Girlfriend, like to me, I love all of the album really besides Burn This Disco Out. Like, I don't really like that song too much.
Not only Dirty Diana catches strays, but Burn This Disco Out. That's the fire. That's the best way to end that album.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, I agree. Okay, so Randall's in complete shock. I feel like the more unpopular opinions are coming from me as opposed to submissions.
Oh, no. Oh. I wasn't prepared for this. Oh man.
Okay, I'll say I just was trying to give She's Out of My Life the love that it deserves. Because to me, this is one of the best Michael Jackson ballads where you can really feel what he's singing about.
Yes, it's a great song. Like, I don't care for it that much, but objectively, I can say that his performance is wonderful on that song.
I mean, he's crying in the end of the song, guys.
Yes.
I mean, you've got to have some type of a placement for, you've got to have some placement for a ballad. No?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I'm not even talking about the person that wrote this opinion in. I'm talking about you. But let's continue.
All right, let's get into the next one. Okay, so the songs Monster, Breaking News, and Keep Your Head Up aren't even that bad, even though it ain't him.
Said Monster, Breaking News, and Keep Your Head Up.
Aren't that bad.
That bad, even though they ain't him.
Like, I don't even know if I should have included this because it's like we're talking about Michael.
I'm trying to figure out what my response is gonna be because of that.
We're supposed to be talking about Michael Jackson, and these are not Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
so correct. But I thought it'd be interesting to address because I could say this. For me, I loved Breaking News when it came out, even though I knew it wasn't him. Like, I loved it to the point where I listened to the instrumental. Come on. The instrumental is kind of fire. And, like, to leave it totally in the dust would be wrong. But at the same time, it's not him. So, like, what? It shouldn't even be a part of the conversation, you know?
Oh, man. Some things should just stay in the drafts. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that.
All right. Next, Liberian Girl is easily his worst short film. He should have had a video for Dangerous instead.
Worst short film? Worst. Okay, it didn't have a beginning, middle, and end per se, and we know the story of him shooting that last part that he was in for like 10 seconds and hopped back in the limo and left, Wait,
is that he only stayed on set for a little bit? I don't know that story.
So, man, somebody in the comments correct me or validate me. I remember reading something maybe a couple years ago where one of the people either on set, maybe the director or somebody that was there said, obviously he wasn't there the whole time. He came up in the limo and was like, I only got 10 minutes. He came down on the dolly, did the fake laugh, got back in the limo and bounced.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And nobody was there when he did that. Like he just, so they spliced that together.
Oh, see,
think about it when you watch it, like it intercuts. There's nobody else in the frame.
Interesting. I never knew that. Now I got to go back and watch it.
Mm-hmm. So, worst short film, man, I would say no, because something got to come up that's not that. Worst short film, dog. That's crazy.
Like for me, worst short film, what comes to mind is like Cry or like something that he's not in.
There you go. That's it. I knew there was something I was missing. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this can't be the worst. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I also think that there is that element of, the superstars of that time. It might have been more relevant at that time. Now it's a bit aged because, like we talked about with Black Jackson Estate, like some of those people is like, who are they? Like, but we know
and
some.
Not only that, who are they? But like, ugh. Like,
right.
Look what happened 30 years later. So,
yeah. Some of the guest stars, like, yeah, we could have done without. But now, in retrospect, right?
But what was the other part of that opinion?
He should have had a video for Dangerous instead.
Yes, I agree with that. That's a whole separate album, whole separate project. From what I read, we've had elements of the Dangerous video in the You Rock My World short film. via the choreography. So, there's your dangerous short film in parts, in the choreography from You Rock My World.
Hey, we'll take what we can get. I mean, the dangerous choreography is just, it's just so amazing.
Yeah, and that's the live performance. We talking about the choreography from that was going to be in the video. So, yeah, like the choreography that was going to be in the dangerous short film that they were planning on shooting, I think, which would have been his 10th video or 10th single from that album. They ended up repurposing it for You Rock My World.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew.
Again, somebody correct me, but that's stuff that I've read.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like it could be true. Shout out to Rich and Tone, because I think they would have been the ones to carry that over. And they're still the ones that are now working on all these estate projects, making sure that there's accurately portraying Michael as a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into this last unpopular opinion. Michael Jackson, the man was human, aka not perfect. The fandom cannot take honest criticism.
So we talked about this a while ago, you and I. I hate that that's an unpopular opinion, though, because it's true and I agree with it. We get a little too sensitive about Mike. Like we all, I think, should know that, Michael wanted to be, as much success as he had, he wanted to be looked at as human. And, he didn't want to be in spots where people just fawned over him all the time, because he knew he had to operate that way. And you couldn't relate to you if you looked at him like this,
right.
So when it comes to the fandom not taking criticism well, 100% agree. I wish that we would all take stock of the totality of not only him, but the art he created and all of the other things that he manifested through his life, and say, okay, this one was great. This one might not have been as great. You know what I'm saying? I see what you was going for. Didn't hit the mark. Cool. Fine. I think what's overdue in terms of a conversation within the fandom is a real unmasked come to Jesus conversation.
Yes.
About Mike. And there's like Michael Jackson, the product, and then there's Michael Jackson, the black man from Gary, Indiana.
Right. And I think, and even I've found myself getting tired of some of the and this is not like towards anyone specifically, just like the sectors of the fan community that are they're so focused on this perfect portrayal of Michael, and he can do no wrong. And I believe that I'm never going to come on a platform, for example, like this show, and talk negatively or in a way that's to bash Michael or to be critiquing him in a way that's not productive. To talk about songs we don't like or that should have went on that album, that's different. But some people don't want to talk about anything at all. And it's how can you appreciate someone if you can't appreciate all facets of them that we know of, right? And that's the thing. We don't know, many of us that are on the Twitter streets and all that and Blue Sky now, we never met Michael.
Yes.
So we're only talking about the small segment or portion of him that he allowed us to see, because he wasn't even around in the social media era where everything was out and open. He was very much in control of a lot of the information that got out, even the tabloid stuff. Of course, they did take things far, but a lot of the things that leaked, I think they mentioned with the Elephant Man's bones, he kind of constructed that, and the other thing with him in the hyperbaric chamber, he's take this picture and set it out there. So we have to keep all that in mind.
I have to say too, there are some parts of the fandom that have their innocuous infatuation about Michael that ain't hurting nobody. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gold Pants.
Yeah. Shout out to Gold Pants. Hey, I'm a Gold Pants girl too.
There we go. Right. But I think, and I think I'm also careful to not paint a broad brush and really talk about loud minorities within the fandom that probably elicit this unpopular opinion from this person. Because I think there's stuff every fan has every fan has an opinion of Michael's work that, isn't always positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why he could put this song on the album. Like, like you just talked about, you know what I mean? But it doesn't take away from what we appreciate about him. And it shouldn't take away from how we see and saw him. And I think part of this is due to the persona that, he worked to craft himself, because at the time he's creating things and elevating to a place we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
Right. Probably the closest you can get to that was like the Beatles, I would say, in terms of, the level of fandom and the way that the public respected and admired you and whatnot. And so he's trying to extend that. And then with that comes, the roller coaster of rise and fall and, peaks and valleys and stuff like that. So that narrative that was created over time to be able to be critically and commercially successful, some people buy into it too much. And so I think the seeds of those thoughts where people can't take criticism are born from works and promotion like that we kind of grew up and consumed.
Yeah. I mean, well said. And I think a good place to wrap this conversation up about unpopular opinions, let us know in the comments. You can comment on Spotify, on YouTube. Let us know, shoot us a DM. Let us know what you think about some of these unpopular opinions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have some unpopular opinions for us to address next time?
Yeah, like not liking Dirty Diana, which is crazy.
I knew you were still thinking about that.
And Burn This Disco Out. Yeah, ooh-wee. I'm going to have to kick you off your own show.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm getting kicked out, you guys. So I got to thank you, Randall, for coming back to the show. It's always fun to chat with you and laugh with you about the greatest entertainer of all time, Michael Jackson. Thank you, Randall.
Thank you for having me always. Don't take it for granted. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Yes. And make sure that you do it too, Randall. You think you...
It ain't about me. It's about MJFANGIRL's audience. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the community that keeps this channel going. Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys next time.